Lights, obviously a really disappointing result on the weekend. I guess it's been a difficult few days for you and a difficult few days for the lads reflecting back on that one.
Yeah, listen, we're incredibly disappointed with the performance in all areas on Saturday, but we've got a short turnaround to Newcastle on Friday night. There's 10 points available, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that we maximise the points available to us. Listen, we had some tough conversations yesterday, as you could imagine. We didn't manage to get our game on the field, and fair play to Quins, they stopped us from doing that. But as I said, the key is that we move on quickly and we're ready for Friday night.
Yeah, I imagine you've had a lot of reflections and watched a lot of footage over the last few days. What can you sort of put that down to, and more importantly, like you say, how can you move on from that and make sure that doesn't happen again?
Listen, I think firstly, like you have to credit some of the work on the floor by Quins. I thought they were excellent there. Not something not something that came as a surprise to us. We knew they were a very, very good jackling team, and probably disappointed with our application in that area. I think rugby is a game of basics, and if we don't resource the ruck, if we're not quick with our support, we won't have the opportunity to move the ball to space like we want to, and it all comes down to the work around the ball, and we weren't at the races there on Saturday, which is disappointing because it's something we talk about a lot, and it is the foundation of our game, and we know teams are going to come after us in that area, but some honest conversations, some tough stuff to watch, and then, like I said, we move on quickly. We've got a massive game on Friday night, and we've got to get 5 points, and then we move on to next week. And Newcastle are a good side in that area as well. So a much improving side. I know the result of the weekend didn't go their way, but a good defensive side, and I think their attack's improving dramatically. So it's a big challenge on Friday night.
Yeah, like you say about Quins, I guess Newcastle are also a side that like to disrupt, and they always have a few tricks or two up their sleeve. We've seen that plenty of times against Gloucester, so I guess the boys will need to be right on their money going up to Newcastle on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone at this club knows the challenge of playing Newcastle away. They're a good side who fight for absolutely everything. We know they've got some lads who are playing their last home game, so it'll be a big evening for them. We know the challenge, and we're not hiding from that. We've had some honest conversations. We know that it's a massive game for us as a squad, as a group, as it is for them. But we're completely focused on making sure that we get our game on the pitch.
And in the context of the league season, obviously 10 points still to play for. It's obviously going to be a lot more difficult to get into those playoff positions now. But I guess, like Skiv said after the game on the weekend, 2 more games, and ultimately as a professional team, you just want to win every game in front of you, don't you?
You do, and there's very little point worrying about what other teams do. I think like that was a theory beforehand. It was about us, and we were very disappointed with Saturday's performance. But it remains the same. It's about us and what we can achieve in these next 2 games, and how we maximise the opportunity to perform well, because we certainly didn't do that on Saturday, and it's something we're going to look to do on Friday night.
And finally, with a handful of boys moving on at the end of the season, obviously announced today, I guess that provides this tight group with an extra bit of motivation to give them a good send-off as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's some incredible players that are leaving, some players that have been here for a long time and done some wonderful things for the club, and I'm sure the boys want to send them off in exactly the right way, which is 2 good performances, and I'm sure they want to do the same. So, yeah, we obviously celebrate them and when the time is right, but the focus is fully on the performance that we need on Friday night.
Cheers, Lights, all the best.
Thank you.